Hey you guys, it's Sonia. Last week Saturday I came up on my 1 year Sisterlock anniversary, and during that, leading up to that, I did a lot of reflecting. I even blogged about it on my natural hair blog, going back to my natural roots, no more creamy crack. And I titled that blog Sisterlock's Transparency because I felt it was, good to be very honest about how I feel about having Sisterlocks thus far and my thoughts on it. And while I do enjoy having locks, I'm very happy that I made this decision to lock my hair. If I had to do it all over again, I would get traditional locks. And here's why. I was leaning towards traditional locks to begin with. I just didn't do enough research on them. I saw Sisterlocks and I fell in love with them, and then, that was it. I just made the decision that that's what I wanted and that's what I got. But I also learned, and I kind of knew this early on, I like the fuller look, the thicker look. I think traditional locks are beautiful, and I always have. And for me, I love, love, love that fuller, thicker look. And I've also been thinking about, self-maintenance a lot lately, and how I really need to learn how to do my own locks, to do my own retightnings or whatever. And self-maintaining Sisterlocks, it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. It seems just overwhelming. I don't have the patience to do it because there's just so many and they're tiny, and I know I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't keep up with it. But if I had traditional locks, which are thicker, and there would be fewer of them because they're thicker, that wouldn't be so intimidating to me, and I would be able to handle maintaining those. Also, what caused me to start thinking about self-maintaining is because, like, a good friend of mine told me when I told her that I was getting Sisterlocks because she had them as well for many years. She told me one of the things I need to do as soon as possible, and this is before I even got the Sisterlocks. She told me to make sure I take the self-retightening class to learn how to do my hair myself, because you don't know what can happen. Like, you can lose your job, or something else financially can come into play where going to your retightenings is just not in your budget anymore. If you move away and there's no consultants near you, and you don't want to travel 2-3 hours away to another city just to get your hair retightened, it's good to know how to do it yourself. So she gave those kind of scenarios, which totally makes sense. I could totally see any of those things happening. We do not know what can happen to us from one day to the next. One day you have a job, the next day you don't. It can happen to any of us. Our financial situation could change within a blink of an eye because of something, anything. So I get it. And lately I've been thinking about that. And so I've also been thinking about combining my locks.
What?
And I'm really, really, really seriously thinking about combining my locks, because and even though, look, I know my locks have not reached their true full size, they still have to mature. I get that. I know that. But I still like the look of traditional locks. And I think this is something I'm going to bring up to my consultant the next time I see her. The fact that I want a fuller look. I want to combine my locks, and I want to eventually probably go from Sisterlocks to traditional locks. And I know there's a way you can do this without having to, like, cut out your Sisterlocks or start all over. They can be combined, and you can just go from there. And that's really the route I'm truly thinking about going. so I can have that thicker, fuller look. And so I can begin to maintain my locks myself. That's the ultimate goal, is self-maintenance. So yes, I've enjoyed my journey. I enjoy having locks. I've learned a lot. I went through that whole phase of trying to do things by the book, by the book, by the book. And it didn't quite work out for me because, the dandruff and the itching, I basically ignored my scalp trying to do things by the book. And so there were a lot of learning curves, just a lot of learning in general, about myself and my hair. And that, while the Sisterlocked rules are good to have, not everybody can abide by them the way they are. Like, you have to do what's best for your hair no matter what, even though there's those rules and guidelines in place by Sisterlocked. So that was, a big lesson learned for me. And, this lock journey is ever evolving. My natural hair journey is steady evolving. And I'm still trying to figure out and get to where I want to be as far as my hair, the locks that I really want, and being able to maintain them myself. Because while I'm that person who enjoys getting her hair done, I will pay you to do my hair, especially if you're good. But at the same time, I think I'm at that point where I do need to learn how to do my hair myself. I do need to learn to retighten my hair. And if I do go the traditional lock route, I'm going to do, I don't necessarily want to do the palm rolling. I want to do the interlocking, or continue with the interlocking. But that's kind of where I am. And I just think it's good for everyone to know how to do their hair themselves at some point. I didn't want to do it in the beginning, but I've reached my year, and now I see the benefit of learning how to do my hair myself. So that's my Sisterlocked transparency moment. Combining my locks is something I really think I want to do, and I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep you guys posted. Thank you for watching.